My first St. Matthew's moment was in the early 90s, sitting in the pew, reading the mission statement that included apartment dwellers, singles, single parents, those that were gay, lesbian, or bisexual. And since I lived next door in the townhouses, it was just so important to read that as someone that was at that time really trying to figure out my sexual identity. And so I credit Michael Nelson, Steve Jensen, Mabel, Gladys, all of the people that not only wrote the mission statement, but also embodied that spirit of welcome, the welcome place back in the early 90s. More recently, my St. Matthew's moment would be during Lent. I think it was the first year that Pastor Stephanie was with us at St. Matthew's, and I still just vividly remember the stations set up as we were going through the Lenten season, stations where we could stitch tears in fabric with actual needles and thread, where there were rose petals and there was artwork and there were just different ways for us to express the need for healing. And that's also what I see as the future for St. Matthew's, or my wish and my prayer, that we continue to be a place of healing and welcome for anyone that needs it in NoHo and now recently around the world. Happy anniversary.
Hello, everyone. My name is Faye. I've been involved with this church for many, many years. The way I first came to this church, I'd like to share with you, it was through Don Rosencar and and he used to be in charge of the Sharing Hands ministry. And he said, we've got a Sharing Hands ministry. So I came and got involved. But before the Sharing Hands was actually established, they had always an interpreter here at the church, and that interests me. So the next 90 years, I hope to continue to have our hearing brothers and sisters and our deaf brothers and sisters work together with communication and serving the Lord and serving the church. I love you all. Thank you.
Some find me present, dying unpleasant, those things will off my mind. Just serve me potatoes and mashed potatoes. Give me the
Hello, my name is Dominic Mora, and I've been a member of this church since 1997, when I moved to the Valley. I was looking for a church in this area, and I was so happy when I found St. Matt's, and it's been wonderful being a member of this church. And I got a chance to bring my musical abilities to the church, which I was very happy with, and was sort of an extension to my career. But I was welcomed with open arms, and I've enjoyed every moment of my membership. And for the future, I wish that the anniversary will be the forerunner of many years to come. And hopefully I'll be around to enjoy some of those years as well.
Hi, I'm Sandra Henry, and I'm currently the secretary on the church council for St. Matthew's Lutheran Church here in North Hollywood. I first came to the church back in the early 1990s. And I had never been to a church as an adult on my own, when it wasn't a wedding or a funeral or anything like that. I'd never just, going into church by myself. The only time I'd gone to church was when I was a child. And it was a time in my life where I was really looking to form a relationship with God, because I felt my faith was very weak and I just didn't know what to do about it. So I saw a little advertisement. The old logo for this church used to be like a little stick figure church with a rainbow across it, and it said the welcome place across the top. And I'm like, that's what I need. It's a place where I can feel welcome, because I'm usually very social awkward and just very shy person. So I came in that first day, I think it was like 1992, and I met a little red-haired gentleman named Michael. He introduced himself after the service, and I told him that, I wasn't really into organized religion and all that. He says, oh, well, we're very disorganized here, you'll love it. And I fell in love. So I came here for a few years then, and then I had moved away, and I just came back within the last, I guess, about 5 years ago, and rejoined the church. And I love being part of the choir, and the people here are just so warm and welcoming. And I really have been able to strengthen my faith here and really connect with people that I might not have run into in the normal course of my day. And here I've just met so many wonderful, loving people, and I feel like my relationship with God is so much stronger, and I'm a lot stronger now. And I can actually talk to people now without cowering in a corner. So no more, wallflower. So.
Hi there, my name is Peter, and I just like to say that there's more happening in this church than just about any church any church I can think of, frankly. I've worked around the church for all of my life, really. I worked with a Christian theater company for 30 years and saw varieties of churches all over the United States, all over the world. And I just think St. Matt's has a heart that is big as NoHo. I mean, what the people are doing here in the community is just magnificent. And my wish for the next 90 years is that things keep changing. I really feel that there's a lot of strife in the world, but there's also a lot of things that are happening that are good and that are powerful and that are life-changing for a lot of people. And I think it's just a few little people like this can be the start of that. You do not need to have a giant corporation and billions of dollars. You just need to have people with heart and commitment. And so I'm really happy to be a part of it. Denise and I both are. I don't know if you are church people, sometimes on Sunday morning you wake up and you go, should we go to church this Sunday? No, let's make lunch, or let's go out and eat or something like that. But here, we just don't want to miss it. We go on vacation and we watch church on Zoom because we don't want to miss a minute of it. It's just such a part of our life, and the people here are such a part of our life too. So come here and meet a bunch of great people, and see in our pumpkin display too. Okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah, hi, my name is Hope Simon, and I have been interpreting in this church for over 20 years. I have always enjoyed and been impacted by the love that this church has for the deaf, for all people of all races, colors, creeds, and beliefs, and everything. And they've accepted everybody equally. And then I would like to see continue that love, that fight for justice for all people and full inclusion, whether deaf or hearing or whichever. And that's what I'd like to see happen. Thank you very much, St. Matthew's, for these 90 years. I look forward to interpreting and serving for many, many more years here. And God bless you all.
Happy birthday, St. Matt's. You did it. You're 90. Wow. My name is Bree Pavey, and I am the managing director at Loft Ensemble, a nonprofit arts organization that is thrilled to call the theater space on the campus of St. Matt's Lutheran Church our home. Loft has been neighbors, friends, and partners with St. Matt's since 2019, and we just couldn't be happier to call this space our creative home. We're also delighted to have opportunity to work with St. Matt's on the NoHo Home Alliance program and other things that just let us know that St. Matt's is the right artistic place for us. We've partnered with some of their ASL interpreters to provide ASL for our shows. And at the end of the day, really, it's the smiling faces of people like Pastor Stephanie and Leon and Anna and Brandy and Sandy and Randy. Wow, there's a lot of Andy sounds. So many wonderful people at St. Matt's, so many wonderful people that have helped build a bridge between our arts organization and this faith organization. And we're just delighted to be here and to say happy, happy, happy birthday to St. Matt's Lutheran Church. Be well.
Hi everybody, my name is Hannah Jager. I'm Pastor Stephanie Jager's daughter. And my hope for St. Matt's for the next 90 years, I feel like it's a bit of a cop-out to say like, keep doing the same. But like really, truly, I believe that this church completely embodies God's message of love and really sort of does the work to bring that out to the community. So while at the moment it might feel slow in sort of our growth, I really hope that sort of in the next 90 years, more and more people are able to be touched by that love.
Hello, I am Beverly Palmeri, and I am privileged to be a member of St. Matt's. The things that this church does for the homeless blows my mind. I've been to too many places where people talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk, and this place walks the walk. I had also the privilege of being part of the food prep team on Fridays for the homeless, and it helps us to realize that they're no different than us. They're not less than. They're the same. We are the same. And we get to actually connect eye to eye and see the human being behind the suffering. And the more of that, the better. So I'm so grateful to be a part of this family. And, I'd love to be here for the next 90 years, but I don't think that's going to happen. But I hope that this spirit of community, of love, of acceptance, of tolerance continues continues and grows exponentially over the next 90 years. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Daniel Smith, and I just want to say a few things about St. Matthew's here in North Hollywood, how much I love being here and being a part of this congregation and this church. I love the opportunity to be able to participate in the music program and to sing whenever I can. It's really a blessing to me, and I hope it is a blessing beyond me. I love Pastor Stephanie, how focused she is on the scripture and the gospel. She's a true scholar with the scriptures, and I really, really appreciate that. And I hope that in the future we can continue to grow and spread the gospel. So, thanks.
Hey St. Matt's, Lex Roman here. I'm a volunteer with NoHo Home Alliance, and I just want to say how grateful I am for St. Matthew's. You guys provide the backbone of our community infrastructure. We're so grateful to have you as partners in this work in our community, showing faith in action every day. So for the next 90 years, I hope St. Matthew's continues to be the important, inclusive home that it is for so many of us. And here's to the next 90.
Hi, I'm Denise Stradling, and I came here with my husband, Peter Iverson, 7 years ago now, almost. And when we came, our little church that we were going to had closed, and we wanted to find a new church, and we had some churches that we were looking at, and Peter had met some people from here, and so we decided to come here first. And I know I'm going to choke up. We heard Pastor Stephanie preach, and her preaching was so dynamic and so just touched us in our hearts about our faith and made me want to grow my faith. I mean, at that point, I was like, you know what, can't we not go to church for a few months, just take a break? But once we were here, it was like I felt inspired all over again. And then we met people afterwards. We heard about the different ministries at St. Matt's. It was right about them that the homeless ministry was starting, and I was just about to leave my job and work at another job at home. And so I started volunteering one day a week, and it just changed my life. It has changed my life being a part of this church. And I just am so grateful and so very blessed by the volunteer work I do with the homeless ministry, all the other ministries that are here, the people that I've met, the openness of the congregation to welcome everyone, anyone. And it's just taught me a whole new way of believing.